All right, cyber traders, welcome on back here for our afternoon meeting this Wednesday, October 21st, shortly after 2:30 p.m. Eastern time and right before class. Let's get a quick sound check just to begin. Make sure every one of us can hear me loud and clear. Great to see Chuck, Bonnie, June. Great joining us inside the trading room today, June. I saw you're on the YouTube stream yesterday. Great to see Wayne, Jeff, Stefan, Gene, Tim, loud and clear from all. Perfect. All right, let me get the frog out my throat here, actually. All right, so we have class coming up, folks, at 3 p.m. Eastern time today. Phase 2, lesson 2 for the month of October. We'll be talking all about determining a stock's range and how to use a stock's range in order to identify entries and exits. All right, so we'll post the link for that class coming up inside our trading room, or we'll post the link in our trading room coming up as soon as this meeting is over. But otherwise, I mean, let's just go over Snap to start, but we'll go from top to bottom shortly after that. So Snap came out with earnings after the bell yesterday. Fausto gave his whole rundown on this stock from the morning meeting, and pretty much all of what he said ended up, working out, right? A stock was breaking all-time highs. So with that, there's no real historical resistance to work with on a trade like this. I'm going to copy and paste the earnings headline, at least from Snap. Snap shares trading higher after the company reported better than expected Q3 EPS and sales results. The company reported Q3, subscriptions are up 18% year over year. So big pop on Snap in the after hours yesterday. It's not always the case that you would see a stock continue up as soon as the market opens up. I mean, that's the hope. And should a stock make a big pop over big resistance, we would think that there's a great chance for it to continue. Like I'd said, there's no historical resistance on the daily chart to work with. You could see on the chart to the right here, just really 52-week highs, all-time highs, obviously. But with that, once it rebroke above 35 resistance here, a little bit after the market opened up, took off. Pretty nasty stock. It ended up making a big shake before it took off, but this thing ended up making a huge move from that price. So Snap ended up pushing from 35. I got in this trade at 35. I got out at 35.90. I ended up picking up 90 cents, but man, this thing just kept going. I was a little worried about this making a pop, then sharp drop. So hey, I took the money and ran. I was in on a couple of other trades after. So I really didn't go back in on Snapchat from that point. There was plenty of room to run though. So, ended up topping off essentially at the high of the day, basically underneath 39 or at 39, high of the day, 38.89. But, iceberg order on the ask at $39. Pulled back a little bit, still seems fairly active at this point in the afternoon. Maybe getting a little rub from the market right now, bouncing back up here. But yeah, I mean, we'll come back to Snap maybe at the end. It's trading 200+ million shares at this point in the day. That's quite a lot. So, for as much of a move as it's made, there still could be some room, up or down, but it's not nearly as much first. And secondly, given the volume that it's trading, I would just assume for the stock to more or less exhaust out. All right, Ken here on the chat board. I was going to go right to the next one I wanted to talk about, number one on the gainers list, MRIN, but Ken's pointing out the GRWG trade running big. I like that word big. So jump right to Ken's GRWG. We would have found this on the gainers side up 10+%. It's at the highs. Great call from Ken. Popped over resistance off of what would appear to be 1950. Looks like a big Fausto flag. Really. Pop right from, not even 1950. It looks like more like even 1960-ish. The tops. Once it popped 1960, the volume came in, and off and running it went. So, I mean, hey, for right now, Ken, great call. We'll put this on our list. Looking pretty interesting. So we'll lead off here with the GRWG. What's the news on this? I was going to copy and paste news for MRIN, for GSX, also another one that we'll get to in a moment. Let's take a quick look on Benzinga Pro. This is from yesterday morning. Okay, so GRWG, obviously on the daily chart, as you could see, been pushing up pretty much since August. So news came out, I'm sure, then, which led to the squeeze up. But I didn't see a news headline from this morning. There was a news headline I had from yesterday. GRWG expands Michigan footprint via big green tomato deal. All right, a little interesting headline there. I guess I'll look more into it just once I finish this meeting up. But yeah, I mean, great call. We'll see if this can make the squeeze higher. All right, so let's go from top to bottom now. MRIN I was going to start with anyway, but yeah, MRIN looks like it's kind of coiling up here for a pop or for some sort of move. One of our students, Debbie, she ended up picking up some great money on this trade from 4. Great entry once it broke under. It held, and then it popped right back over. That's the sweet spot. Fantastic job from Debbie on her trade. But hey, from earlier on today, Ended up taking a little while to get the gears going. It was like a pump and dump early. So I normally wouldn't expect for this stock to, even squeeze up as much as it's had from this point. So, ended up making the morning run a little after 10 o'clock. I thought it would just die off here. So when it ended up re-breaking 4, I wasn't in it for that run. Ended up squeezing all the way up towards 6 just about, a little bit underneath. And again, ended up making the under and over move from 4 here. That was a great entry, but it might just be fizzling out here. One or the other. This thing is going to pop from its coiling up, or it's going to just dump off right away after. So, for right now, again, similar to Snapchat, I'm not as jumpy to put this on our main list just yet. I'd rather go through some trades just on the gainer side first. Some stocks that I know are making some, more afternoonish type moves. ISIG, one of our students, I think it was Chuck, that had called this out before, ended up making the squeeze up. Got halted a few times on the way up, and then there's the infamous halt on the way down, and then from that point. So great call from Chuck at the time, but very short-lived run, unfortunately, on this ISIG. All right, a lot of these pump and dumps today. Geez. All right, we'll zoom out on the chart, perhaps. You could just see from pre-market early in the morning, this TGC squeezed up, and then shortly after the open, I guess we had a pop, drop, pop, and then really died off fast. I skipped over this. This may have climbed up, actually. We'll take a look at the ASTG. I don't know, another pump and dump from today, but yeah, not really doing much now. I don't know. I guess the TGC dropped off, and that's what led this to jump up ahead of it. But yeah, pump and dump, same thing. I mean, all of these stocks we're not totally going to, throw in the trash, meaning that I'm sure at some point, maybe, tomorrow, Friday, maybe even next week at some point, we'll tend to see one of these make another run back up, right? I mean, very similar to WWR. WWR, if you guys recall, ended up making a day-over-day pump. And then in the pre-market, actually, that much more the following day. It dumped all the way down. We still traded it, though, on a couple of these days. We're not holding on to trades like this, but we're trading the momentum. So it looks like here it ended up making a run from 566 up to 674 and then dumped back down after. That's where I say don't totally ignore these stocks. Write them down, put them on your radar screen, keep a smaller eye on them. Maybe as early as tomorrow, we'll see like a better move on these. I don't know why I clicked this NEOS stock, 76 cents. All right. ONVO, ONVO. This used to be a quote unquote penny stock. I don't know if they did a reverse split of some sort recently, but ONVO popped earlier. It looks like it fizzled out, though, for right now. Same thing. All right. Really, guys, not a whole lot out there. I know one of our students, Ken, brought up it was kind of like a weird day today. There were a few runners, but nothing really was like sticking, right? Snapchat, obviously, but we're talking more of like, the inexpensive stocks that can make these big pops and runs, like, all these up top here. But obviously, from what we just said, they all dumped off. So it's been a little bit of a wonky day, at least after Snapchat. Riot and Mara will jump to pretty quickly here, or Mara and Riot, I guess. But yeah, I mean, both of these stocks ended up making a big push in pre-market. Little lackluster, I got to say, after the market opened up. Bitcoin made a huge move over the last like 72 hours, if that. It popped over 1,000 points in the last 72 hours. Huge run. So I personally, me speaking, I feel like there's a lot more to come. I'm sipping the Bitcoin Kool-Aid, so to say. I've told you guys in this very meeting in the past with Riot blockchain stock here, I'm in on a swing trade. I'm in from 332. I've had my downs and now ups with this trade. I'm extremely bullish long term, so I'm sticking in that. But as far as a day trade, did all right. I mean, I was in from 390, ended up making the squeeze up over 4, but I thought there was going to be a lot more left to it from there. So it topped off the high of the day, Riot, that is, at 414, and then fizzled back down. So definitely going to keep an eye on these stocks, especially with the big pop in Bitcoin from the last, 2-3 days. There's Mara. All right. JFU. I mean, I guess I should say aside from Snapchat, I feel like JFU was one of the better trades after 9:30. Kind of died off after, but ended up making the run from 150 after the market opened up, popped up to 190, and then it fizzled out, but made the unexpected breakout after, ran up towards the eventual high of the day, 209. So, another run from yesterday, day over day. So at this point, really wouldn't shock me come tomorrow morning for this stock in particular to be on the losers list. All right. CNET had a pop in the early afternoon here. I like the volume that came in, but nothing of it after. So, for right now, it's up 14%, trading 2.3 million shares. Spreads are tight. Order on the ask at 170 at the high. It's interesting. Make our list for right now. I'm not really drooling over it just yet. So, let's see. Man, and I'll tell you otherwise, I mean, I see a couple familiar names, but nothing else that I'm really considering. Oh, you know what's interesting, folks? So alongside Riot and Bitcoin, or Riot and Mara, that is, that are tied together with blockchain technology and blockchain companies that mine for Bitcoin, this company in particular, very expensive. So I don't trade it. I'm not in it as a swing. I'm just giving you the story. About a month ago, you end up seeing this huge, one of these 2 days. Can't even tell you which one. But this company, MSTR, ended up investing like $350 million in Bitcoin. I'll actually copy and paste the news snippet while I have the chance to, if I can at least. Yeah, I think this was back from September 15th. 250 million it is, actually. I'm going to try and copy and paste everything that I have here for you folks, just so you guys are kind of in the loop. But yeah, just keep an eye on this company. Pretty interesting. It's not breaking all-time highs just yet, but this was back like a month ago. So interesting to see what Bitcoin's run today. This is up over 8%. All right, let's hop over to the losers list. Otherwise, actually maybe Pinterest here at the end, but still kind of active. A little interesting there, breaking all-time highs like Snapchat. Yeah. All right, let's hop over to the losers list here for the meantime. GSX, my last news snippet for you guys in this meeting. GSX got crushed. I guess it was earnings based, but it says GSX technology shares trading lower following a report suggesting the company sees a Q3 loss of RMB 900M. I have no idea what that means. So I'm just reporting the news. Don't shoot the messenger. But nonetheless, we ended up seeing GSX get crushed going into the market open, and shortly after the open, it only continued to dump off. So for what it's worth, a little expensive, bit of a spread. But I'm going to put this on our list. Very sharp drop off here, very volatile stock. So with that, ended up making a big squeeze lower here. Jeff saying, and that's right, the news on PayPal also from this morning pertaining to Bitcoin, right? So it might be old news, actually. I mean, the news headline came out this morning, but I knew that PayPal is tied to Bitcoin over the last month or so. So I guess they finalized it in the sense of that PayPal is going to allow users to either buy or sell crypto, or at least look at the live data. So PayPal breaking all-time highs, a big, very expensive stock. All right, let's keep going down the losers list here. There's Fausto's Jinko Solar trade. We ended up seeing them make a big run up yesterday, as they've been, for the last month. And I may have cursed this stock during our live audio broadcast yesterday in the morning. I remember specifically telling Fausto as he commented on it, and I'd said to him, Fausto, I don't remember any sort of stock making this clean, this pretty of a trend going up. I may have jinxed it. So ended up making a big drop today. It's about time, I should say, at least, but down 15% today. Jinko Solar, pretty much right around the same price as that GSX, but this is more of a swing trade that we're focused on than a day trade. Could be interesting to follow, perhaps, if the order book fills in a bit more. All right, let's see. Space down big. 10+%. That's pretty interesting. What's the news on space? We'll take a quick look. This is from yesterday afternoon. Looks like a tweet from someone. Since there seems to be some confusion in the markets, Jim Chanos tells me he was joking when talking positively about space-related companies. All right, that's the little tweet that I have here, a headline from 12:56 Eastern yesterday. No other news otherwise that I see. So big drop off in space SPCE. It's at the lows, much like the GSX trade is right now. So we'll put this on our list as well. All right, so at least now we have a better list, especially with space on this list. I like that. The CNET trade still looks interesting. The GRWG is our best one on the gainers list for right now. take a look at TCS here. I'm going to go to Benzinga Pro right after. Then I'll take a quick look at the chat boards. So for all of us inside the cyber group room and all of us on social media, if there's anything else right now that you would want me to look at, just type it here in the chat board. Let me know. I'll lead off. I got one from Benzinga Pro. It's one that we've been following, and hopefully it's at the highs. It's still down 6% from yesterday's close, but hurts. I was telling you folks, yesterday and the day before that, at some point we're going to catch a bounce on this trade again. Had a big gap down in the pre-market this morning. Ended up making a nice bounce from roughly over 155, and at least for the meantime, it's near the highs heading into this afternoon. So, I'll put this on our watch list. Again, I always like to say this. It doesn't mean we're going to throw a dart on the wall and hope it lands. We're not just going to jump into this trade the second I, shut off the social media stream here. We got to wait to see major resistance break. We got to make sure we see, a big level hold as support at the least. So interesting for right now that it's at the highs. And, at some point we'll likely take this trade again on the way up. But yeah, Hertz we'll keep on our list for right now, or we'll put back on our list rather. DQ. I was going to say Dairy Queen. No. That just about does it, though, guys. I mean, that's all I really have across the board on my end. Bill calling out Neo, and then June saying Nikola, the EV stocks, I guess. EMPH, in the meantime, I'm not going to put it on the main list just given the price, but really nice drop-off. Maybe I'll take a look at SPWR if that's the case. They tend to move somewhat similarly, not exactly the same, but SunPower down about 7%, tighter spreads, more volume on the book for this one. You know what? If EMPH is making that move, I don't mind, putting this on as more of a sympathy play. It's not really moving that fast or that, actively here, but perhaps around 315, 330, we'll see more, activity on this one. All right, so let's go to Bill. He's asking about Neo. It's at 28. Yeah, it's interesting. Tradable stock. So great stock to, always keep on your side list. If there's nothing from the main list that I'm going to post that you're really, chomping at the bit on, then, you could always focus on a stock like Neo, maybe a stock like Nikola. Nikola maybe on the short side, June, which is, I assume what you're looking for there. It looks like it's pulling back a bit further. Chuck saying CAN high of the day, 222, getting volume up 10%. Yeah, great call. I don't know if I skipped over this or just, didn't see this in time, but yeah, this one looking great. It's funny, June, the more that you're in these meetings with me, I know exactly what you're looking for right there. I remember you're looking for a short on Blink over and over, so I feel like you're good on the short side with a lot of these trades. All right, VIAC, I got a ping from a student here. It's at the highs, up 2+%, tradable. Interesting in terms of the trend in liquidity, but for right now, again, it's like, I'd put this in the same line as like Neo and Nikola in that regard. All right, folks, time is 2:48, much like yesterday. I made good on time, but today, actually, we have class lined up in about 10 or so minutes. So I'm going to get going to that. I'm going to post and tweet the picks right now for all of us, and especially those on social media. Make sure that you guys on social media like, subscribe, notify, as always, on our YouTube channel, youtube.com/cybertradingu. Otherwise, as we always say, feel more than free to join us live in the Cyber Group trading room. For all of us in our trading room right now, again, I'll post and tweet the picks. I'll post or I'll copy and paste the link for class shortly after that. And I look forward to seeing most of us in the class later on today. Take care.